and I didn't know this really up until a couple of years ago, and I hate to admit this, is that tomatoes are actually fruits.
True.
So theoretically, because I know someone's going to probably call us out on that.
You know, don't you know tomatoes are fruits?
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.
Episode 31 of Charred and New Haven Pizza Show, Tree 1.
Tree 1. You got it. Finally, you got it, Kevin. Finally.
We are in April now. It is Kevin Begley, Frank Zabsky, and we are back in the studio.
Yep.
We've been out over the past couple episodes. We've been out. We've been at different places starting the year on location, but this week we got the new tablecloth.
We got the new tablecloth. Ed, our video guy's already giving us a hard time. You know, you need a little break. You didn't like to travel too much. And he's giving me a hard time about my small milled new tablecloth.
I love it. It looks like we're in an old school pizzeria, like in the 80s.
Exactly.
You know what we should get? We got to get some of those shakers, like the
I like
Parmesan
that,
cheese
yeah.
and the red pepper flakes.
Yeah, the old glass ones with the metal tops on
Right.
them.
Every time we film here, we'll keep adding different things to make it look more like a pizzeria. I do want to shout out my daughter. I framed her photos. Look at these. Look at that artwork.
Very nice.
Nice job, Grace. We got that one. We got the slice. Now, the reason why I bring this one out is because multiple people who I've showed this photo to say, did she draw pineapple on that slice? And I have to
Let me see this thing.
I have to believe that it's mozzarella.
No, it looks like pineapple.
I
man.
asked her, I said, what are these squares? And she's like, cheese. And so I think it's cheese. But because she's never seen pineapple on pizza because I refuse. So I don't know how she would even know that.
Finally, there's hope for you.
But that helps us segue into this first story because
Yes.
this has been going viral. Multiple people have sent it to me that people are putting, mostly in Australia, orange slices on pizza. Pineapple's one thing. Oranges, I could already tell by your face. You're not in on this.
No good. On so many levels, no good. Just my... Now, I love oranges.
Yeah, me
and I
too.
love orange juice. There was a place I used to go skiing up in Vermont, Killington, and there's a place called Peppers.
Yep.
That had this fresh squeezed orange juice, which was absolutely amazing.
Sounds great.
But there's no way in my wildest dreams I would ever put it on pizza.
There's something about fruit on pizza that just doesn't go. Now, while I'm 100% anti-pineapple on pizza, I do kind of get when the places make it and they're like ham and Hawaiian and they have like a theme to it. There's no theme to oranges. Like, you're just putting oranges on a pizza and it's too watery. Like, it's going to water down the sauce.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to, but you're actually a good study with that. But the funny thing about it is, and I didn't know this really up until a couple of years ago, and I hate to admit this, is that tomatoes are actually fruits.
True.
So
that's a
theoretically,
good point.
because I know someone's going to probably call us out on that.
You know, don't you know tomatoes are fruits?
Exactly.
It's different though. It like oranges, they're very acidic. They're very juicy. Like that just doesn't mix well, I feel like. Now, maybe if there's a pizza that's like a white pie, now we get into this all the time, then it turns into like a flatbread. Like if you're making something with other items like that, it's just turning into a flatbread, not really a pizza.
Yeah, it's a fruit cup pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to throw some grapes on there too? Like, what is happening? I'm out on oranges on pizza.
Yeah, oranges on pizza's out. You know, it would be very interesting to have pineapple and oranges and give it a shot, but I'm just not sure what you would, it just like even a mozzarella base. I mean, I don't know.
Now, if any of these places in Connecticut want to make one and have us try it, maybe I'd be swayed. I don't know. I've actually never tried it, so you never know.
Well, like I said, the one time I had pineapple on pizza was at Grand Beats in Guilford. They got tree joints.
Tree.
And I got to tell you, it was not horrible.
Okay.
So it was basically a regular mozzarella pizza. It had bacon and pineapple. So it kind of had that sweet and kind of tangy kind of thing. And it wasn't horrible. I mean, I've never had it I never had it after that, but...
Yeah, I would never go out of my way. If a place has a specialty that's like their thing, then I'd be willing to try it. I would need it to be like almost charred. Like I would need the pineapple to be a little crispy.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be like a cold pineapple on there. No.
Yeah, no good.
So segueing into multiple, there's a lot of pizza news in Connecticut as far as like actual pizza places.
Yeah.
We've talked before in the past about it's so hard to open a brand new pizza place in Connecticut or anywhere really, but to when you don't have the years of recognition of what your place is. And there's actually two, one just opened and one's about to open in Milford. So Fire Engine Pizza, let's start there. Because this has been, now you and I both live in Milford.
Yeah.
But I feel like even throughout Connecticut and the surrounding area of Milford, people for 5 years, it feels like, have been saying like, this is going to open in Milford. It's been this almost like a folklore. And then it finally opened.
I heard there were ghosts in the windows because it's in a firehouse, kind of like, I think it's in the Woodmont section of Milford. And I think it opened up like a month ago. If you guys are listening to this Fire Engine, I tried to contact you guys and call you, and I haven't heard anything back, but we'd love to do an episode down there.
Well, I would love to, because I want to hear the whole story from their side of it, because you see a lot in Facebook groups, not just the pizza group that you have, but you see it in the Milford Facebook groups and whatever. You just see it around, on all the Connecticut news sites and stuff. It's going to open. It's going to open. It almost became like a running gag. Like, is it ever going to open? Like, and then you would see like, there'd be a pickup truck parked outside, and everyone would be like,
get excited.
"What's happening?"
Right.
But then in the past couple of weeks, there was like a delivery truck, and people were like, "Oh, something really is happening." And then there's all rumors like, "No, it's not. Yes, it is." But then one day, I opened up Facebook, and there was a picture of people eating pizza in Fire Engine Pizza in Milford, and I was like, "Wow, it finally happened."
Yeah, I got to go there, and I actually might even go there tonight because I'm going out with my neighbor next door. But I think they actually started out with a mobile pizza truck. Like they actually had a fire engine with an old fire engine with an oven on the back, back of it.
Yep.
And back when I used to be in shape, I used to run these road, a bunch of road races, but there was one in Milford. And I had a couple of slices after the run, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I've been to Shelton a couple of times, and I think they also have one, which I think they first started in Bridgeport. It's like on the Bridgeport-Fairfield line, Black Rock.
Okay, yep. There has been some locations other than obviously the Milford one, but it's cool that it's in a fire station, though, or an old fire station.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. It'll be interesting to see what happens because it's in a pretty residential area.
Yeah.
Down the street from that, there are a couple of restaurants. I wish them the best of luck, and I definitely want to check it out for sure.
Yeah. We'd love to do an episode there. Now, the next one in Milford, before we get to the big story that I have here, is Pizza Life. So I did the St. Patrick's Day parade with the radio station with Star, and we were going down. The route goes into that little downtown area.
Dog legs.
Yep, it goes to the right, and that Pizza Life. The sign is up now, multiple signs.
Yeah.
So it's not just the plywood on the windows anymore. And I was like, oh, things are happening at this Pizza Life. And then I saw a Facebook post recently that had basically postings like dishwasher, cooks, like all that.
They're getting close.
And I was like, yeah, this is going to open soon. Now, I don't know much about Pizza Life besides there was a Westport location, I believe.
I think there is. And I think if I remember maybe 3, 4, or 5 months ago, they contacted me about doing something down there or us doing something down there. And so I just been waiting for them to open.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens because I think they're like a sourdough New York style.
That's what one of the signs says. Yeah. Sourdough. It's sourdough and New York style. So it's very different from Connecticut, from New Haven style.
Yep.
There's obviously all different styles in Connecticut, but it's very different from New Haven. So it'll be interesting. The other interesting part of it on like a pizza sort of like friendly competition level is that they're like 2 doors down from Colony, Milford.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be a little downtown rivalry right there.
And down the street from it's out of Lost.
Jimmy's
the
Beats, which just reopened.
Yes.
They just renovated their whole place. So yeah, we got a nice little pizza competition happening in Milford.
Yeah, and it could be, there's a lot of new apartment buildings coming downtown Milford, both that are already housed and some of them that are just getting going. Mm-hmm. And also there's a big bar crowd.
Yeah
downtown Milford. So
Is Milford becoming the pizza capital of
oh,
Connecticut?
now I see where you're going with that, dog.
If you base it on number of pizzerias, I'd be interested to see. I'm just saying. But the Colony shout out kind of
And Strega too. I think Strega.
Oh yeah. Well, Strega I consider like an Italian restaurant. Though,
yeah,
right?
but I think they sell Neapolitan pizza.
Yeah, they do. So you actually have all different styles. You're right. You got
bar
Papa's too.
Yep.
Jimmy's. You get New Haven style. You get bar pie. You got the Neapolitan.
I don't think the place on the corner. I know Richie Conine owns it. I forget the name of it, but it's a big bar spot. I don't think they have pizza. Stonebridge.
Stonebridge. They might have flatbreads.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not I wouldn't consider that a pizzeria. If I'm counting the pizzerias in Milford,
You're right.
I think it needs to be. I don't want to say it has to have pizza in the name, but it needs to be like a traditional pizzeria, you know. But I'm going to count them one time, and we'll do an episode on number of pizzerias. But the Colony thing reminded me that Riko's, which is basically like the friendly rival to Colony.
Well, I don't think they're friendly.
No.
I
I don't know the whole story. They don't like each other? A little drama there?
I don't think they like each other, and I'm pretty sure there was some, I'll call it litigation.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's definitely, they're not sending Christmas cards to each other.
All right. So
That's for sure.
That makes it even better then, that they're like real rivals.
Oh, yeah, they're real rivals.
Man, I until I got into this pizza game, I didn't realize how many rivalries and sort of the pizza world is fascinating. It's like pro sports. It's like it's so crazy. Like there's so many levels and layers to it.
It is. It's complicated, and you know, there's places that don't particularly like each other. There's people that don't particularly like each other. You know, I think we all kind of are cordial, but
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, it's interesting.
Right. Well, all these places, like we said, we'll do episodes anywhere. So,
Yeah.
like, you contact us, we're coming. But this Riko's I thought was interesting because I used to live in South Norwalk years ago, and there was the one Riko's down in Norwalk, which just, you get takeout. Like, you don't sit there, you just go grab a pie. It's the bar
Yeah.
pie, the crispy edges, just like Colony, like they're the same thing. But now this story about Riko's has 11 locations, so they're about to have 11 locations, and they're all turning to full-service restaurants. So the Norwalk location now full service pizzeria. So in the article I have right here, Riko's is growing via franchising, and the Norwalk location is the brand's 11th. It's the 6th Riko's Pizza in Connecticut. They also have locations in New York, Florida, and Vermont, and then a new one opening in North Carolina soon. So I had no idea that they had expanded that far.
I didn't either, nor did I have any idea that they actually franchised. Because it's hard to grow something like that, like with one owner.
Yeah.
You know, because it's obviously financing every single one of those locations and payroll and all the other stuff that goes into it, and it's crazy. But, yeah, I mean, listen, like anything else, if you're not good, whether it's New Haven style, bar style, you don't last.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, it's not right. I mean, it's so true. And, you know, they survived on just making pizza for a long time. So I imagine that this will just make it better. Now, a couple of the key points here that they say. So they're going to have a huge bar. So a 37-foot long bar with 24 stools, 24 beers on tap. You know, big screen TVs. They're going to be showing sports. Now, when I see that type of stuff, it starts to escape the pizzeria thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about with the other restaurants. You know, you become a restaurant, dining, bar, pizzeria, not just a pizza place.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it's a business.
True.
And there's an Italian word, scatol. It's all about the scatol.
I don't know if
And
I
that's
can say
the
that.
money.
Scarlo? How do you say it?
Scatol.
Scadol.
Scatol.
Scadol.
Yeah, scatol. And that's what it's all about. And so obviously, you know, there's a lot of money in selling liquor.
Right. True.
And even though people will fight me on this, there's not a ton of money in pizza. There's just not.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying you can't make money, but it's not like you're going to become a multi-zillionaire if you open up a pizzeria.
Right. You got to have the passion for it. It's really it's a passion game, you know?
It is, and a lot of people have the passion, but unfortunately passion doesn't pay the bills.
Right.
So it makes sense to me that they would kind of maybe, you know, add to the offering, so to speak, and have that big bar, because that's probably where the money comes from.
Yeah. Now, on the other side of the coin, you know, we talked about these new places opening and expanding. I saw this article about Nextdoor in New Haven, who, you know, Doug Coffin, very first episode of Charred, he was our guest, you know, started Big Green Truck, and now Nextdoor. And it was rumors for a little bit, but it is true that they're going to be closing down?
Yeah, their last day that they're going to be serving the public is I think April 6th, and then I think they have some parties scheduled, and I think they're going to do those, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so April 6th. Yeah, so this weekend.
Yeah, next weekend.
Well, this is coming out on the 4th. Yeah, we record. The 6th is probably going to be the last chance for you to go there.
Yeah, and I've run my school there for 2.5 years, and so I've got some other things in the works, and so the whole thing is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because Doug is probably, and I'm not saying this because I rent from him, but he's one of the most decent human beings I've ever met in my life.
He's the best. I met him when we did that interview, and I met him at the Pizza Fest that we've done too. But yeah, just a genuine great guy, great stories, really smart guy.
I mean, his success, obviously, his huge success was Big Green Truck.
Yep.
And without him and his idea, as crazy as people thought he was, and he's definitely a little crazy, all entrepreneurs are. We wouldn't have the mobile business that we have now in Connecticut in general.
Totally.
And so, I think he just kind of got tired of, the trucks and wanted to do something brick and mortar. And, he was around for 5 years and,
Do you think someone will buy it and keep it pizza or no?
That's a good question. There was someone I think interested and it just didn't work out and just want to leave it at that for a multitude of reasons.
Yep.
But I don't know, and I'm going to try to continue to even do my classes.
I was going to say, is it going to affect your classes? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, on some level it will. It won't affect my classes because I've got several other places I could go to.
Right.
But I love that place.
Yeah, it's the perfect spot. I mean, I had my 40th birthday party there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot. So, the hope is that someone would buy it and whether they reinvent it or rename it, but keep the spirit of pizza in New Haven and
Yeah, and for those people that know that building, it used to be Humphreys for a long time, which was a crazy nightclub.
Yep.
It was several places prior to that. I mean, it's got a ton of history, which, I love, and it's a great building. It's a standalone building. It's got a parking lot right next to it.
Yep.
So, hopefully, it keeps going.
Yeah, I would love to see it stay pizza, but I get it. Someone might decide to knock it down, build apartments, something else, whatever. But it would be nice if they kept the spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, or some restaurant of that form. It's really built for pizza because it's got that beautiful
and it's a cool building.
Oh,
it's a really cool building. You got the front dining room, you got the back bar, you got it's a cool spot.
And it's an up and coming neighborhood, and by that I mean, they're starting to invest money in there, and there's a lot of younger people starting to move in there. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Now, since the last time we had an episode come out, we did do a Instagram Live where we talked about Pizza Fest because we announced Connecticut Pizza and Brew Fest 2025, year tree.
Tree, baby.
With Brown Roofing. Big thanks to Brown Roofing. Those guys are awesome, and they loved being part of it last year, so they're helping us out this year with the sponsorship.
And they're all over the place, man. Every time I go on social media, they're doing this hat. They're giving someone a roof. They're doing this. They're doing that.
They're smart. They're smart.
Yeah.
They're getting out there. And the tickets are on sale now. So, we did a big push the day that they went on sale. You can go to ctpizzaandbrewfest.com. You can get them there. And it's $20 GA. And $50 VIP.
I thought it was 10.
Is it 10? Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
I don't want to screw that up. Let me hold. You're right. $10.
Oh, you got me nervous there.
Here we go. Tickets on sale now. GA, $10. So yeah, let's go through it real fast. So $10 gets you in the door from 1 to 4.
Yep.
$3 cheese slices, free beer samples in the little brewery area.
Yep.
And then other slices are available through the pizza trucks if they're selling their whole menu.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
No, we're gonna have the panels again. So some form or fashion, we're gonna have the icons of New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a free pizza class. So if you want to learn how to make New Haven style pizza,
there you go.
Where are you gonna do that for $10?
That's worth admission right there. Yeah, $10.
Yeah, and it's a super value.
Yeah. And the VIP ticket is $50, and that gets you in an hour earlier. So 12 to 1.
Yep.
You get free pizza samples from 12 to 1. That's what you want. I mean,
yeah.
That's the best. So
you could be a gavone the whole hour.
Right. 12:57. You're just grabbing slices. All the pizza you can eat. Samples, free beer samples, and then the free beer samples last all day. You can stay till 4. Obviously, you can stay for the whole event if you buy the VIP.
Yep.
And you're just treated like a very important pizza person. That's the best part.
Absolutely. And there's going to be live music.
Yes. Yeah, so
I don't know if they announced the bands yet.
we haven't yet, but I've heard some of the bands that they're talking to. It's going to be real cool.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be super fun. So last year was great. We had the 2 party bands. It's going to be similar to that, but we got some cool names lined up.
Well, every year we do it. You know, we learn. You know, and this is a new thing for us, and so, you know, every year is hopefully bigger, better, stronger, faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And the date, it's July 20th.
Correct.
Sunday, July 20th. Sunday, July 20th is the date, so get your tickets for that. Now, I want to talk about your pizza song. So our theme song, music video, you filmed, what was it, a few months ago? 3 months ago?
Yeah, like mid-November, we started filming a professional video.
So what's the update on that?
So the update on that is we're wrapping it up. We actually did some stuff this weekend, going to each one of the pizzerias that we mentioned in the song, taking pictures. So I think our goal is to get it out April 15th.
Okay, nice.
So
a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks, hopefully. And we're going to do press release, all the other stuff. And it's just kind of a fun song.
And you can watch it everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's our theme song, right?
It's our theme song.
That's cool.
Yep. Hopefully the state of Connecticut.
we'll have our own music video. That's neat.
Absolutely.
it's like TRL, MTV days. And then the other thing is, so you went to the Pizza Expo last year. That's going on now?
Yeah, that's going on right now.
In Vegas.
In Vegas, it's basically 15,000, 20,000 people who are just passionate about pizza.
Yeah.
I decided not to go this year because they have another event this year in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do that one. I'm probably going to do Pizza Expo like every other year.
Yep. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it. And, you know, I could drive to Ohio and I don't really want to drive to Las Vegas.
That's a long ride.
Yeah, it's a long drive. But the cool part about that is that I'm actually also, they're up in their game as far as the judging goes of the pizza. So they're actually coming up with some curriculum. So I'm involved in that, which is really cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, this I think it's today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
Meaning when we're recording.
Yes.
So it happened.
You always have to remind me.
It happened
that.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
He's the professional. I'm the amateur. Yeah. So hopefully next month we'll have some updates on anything that's happened there.
Nice. And then to close out, Parking Lot Pizza. It's springtime. So when the first day of spring hit, I was like, "Oh, Parking Lot Pizza is going to start soon."
I see, even down my house, I see everyone's getting their cars out. You hear the rumbling, blah 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 blah, coming down the road, and so I was trying to be cautious, and I did not book anything for April.
Right.
So I start May, June, July, August. If you want to go and find out where all of our events are, it's Parking Lot Pizza on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a whole group.
There's a whole group. But I'm actually I'm calling it the Get Your Car Out of the Garage gathering at Manja in North Haven.
Okay.
Mid-April.
So we'll let
I think it's the 16th, but
we'll let the people know.
Yeah.
We'll put it on our socials or the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So they can go to the Facebook group when it's confirmed.
Yeah, so if you've got an old car, a new car, a sports car, a classic motorcycle, bring it down. That's what it's all about.
And it's not a car show. It's just a meetup.
It's not a car show. It's a gathering. You don't have to have a car, but all we ask is that if you do come down there to talk to us, meet us, socialize, just park away from the classic cars.
Where the cars are happening. Yeah, because it's cool. So, I like to go to those things and just look at the cars. Even though I have my Subaru, I'm going to park it over here and go look at the cars. That's going to be awesome. I once the nice weather starts hitting, I was like, I'm getting excited for this parking lot
and it's
pizza.
midweek, which I did it for by design because I want to get people out of the house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So that does it for episode 31. Thank you so much. It is springtime, and everyone get out there. Like Parking Lot Pizza, you're excited for that.
Yep.
Get out, buy your tickets to Pizza Fest, ctpizzaandbrewfest.com, and we'll be back in a couple weeks with a very special guest from the state of Maine.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You're saying, why Maine? You'll find out. You'll find out in a couple weeks. It's going to be awesome. So thanks so much. I'm Kevin Begley, Frank Zapsky. Remember, it's not burnt.
It's charred, baby.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.